You must be very disappointed these days.
Do I look disappointed?
Aren't you disappointed? No, the world is not going your way.
I have patience and perseverance. I know it will come.
How old are you?
Guess, can you guess?
No, because you have patience. I mean, the world is destroying itself. Don't you feel so?
I'm little over half a century. But I still have few more years, and I'm sure people will, because everybody wants peace. Peace is an innate need of people. But they don't know how to get rid of the negative emotions, negative tendencies, anger, and frustration. That education is needed in the world today, to teach people how to let go of the negativity, let go of the past and move to the future.
You are quoted to measure success by seeing a smile, and you're smiling all the time, meaning that you are a success story. But doesn't mean anything about our world. The world is not smiling anymore.
I know, and there is a lot of work that is needed to be done. There is a work for the reformers. There are doctors are there in the world, and they have a job to treat the patients. And if the doctors fall sick, there is no hope for patients. So, even few people, if we lose our smile, we cannot bring smile into the face of the others. So we need to be centered. We need to work hard to bring the smile back into the face of the people.
When you're saying, let's stop the world for an hour, for 10 days, what do you mean by that?
Stopping our mind. Stop the mind. It's racing. It's always thinking about the past or anxious about the future. We are angry about the past or anxious about the future. To take a fresh look at the world, to the situation, you need to wake up and see. As Mahatma Gandhi used to say, that I would never turn back and look. Say, now let's see what we should do now and for the future. That gives a lot of energy, encouragement, enthusiasm, and lifts you up from the ashes, even though there are ashes around.
And all that starts with India, in India?
Exactly. Perhaps it may be in other parts of the world as well.
No, I wonder, so many of our children are going to India, and I don't know why. Why are they so fascinated with the place?
India has a long history of spiritual upliftment. When you see that everything is collapsing and all doors are shut and there are no hope, and depression sets in, India gives a vision of, something higher and the possibility, the power of your own thought, the power of your mind, and how you can create your reality, your world, and move in that direction. You may not be successful immediately, tomorrow, but the vision and the mission always takes you forward.
You are known as one who tries to bridge between the business world and the political world. Is it bridgeable at all?
Basically we are all human beings. There is a humanness in everybody. And I feel the reformers, the rulers, and the providers, they all have to work together. Only then society can really come together.
And aren't you a little concerned about this mixture between politicians and business? And sometimes it brings corruption. We know it in this country. They know it in other Western countries.
Everywhere, even in India, there is corruption. A lot of corruption. Corruption begins where the sense of belongingness ends. You draw a circle of belongingness around you, and your corruption begins only after that. And politicians need to be more spiritual. Spiritual, I mean, have a sense of belongingness for people. What Mahatma Gandhi gave in this century is just this lesson. He is a spiritual person, at the same time he was a politician too. And he had this sense of sacrifice, I want nothing for myself, but I want for my people. That spirit is somewhere going down, and that's why we feel that sort of corruption and the sort of unethical businesses have all sprung up. we need to inculcate again those value systems, both in business. Because for business, trust is the backbone. And if the trust is broken, business, you know what we saw in last 10 months. It took almost 10 years for communism to collapse. It took less than 10 months for capitalism to collapse. And the reason is we have ignored value system, ethics in business. We have ignored that human values of caring and sharing, of dedication and devotion. These values somehow if we can reculcate in our youth. Actually youth are very ready for it. And youth wants this because they saw what they see among the older generation just running after, it's like running on the treadmill going nowhere.
What's so wrong about present, current world leadership and perhaps our regional leadership?
I would say that sense of belongingness is shrinking somewhere. More self-centered, self-serving attitude than sacrifice, the sense of sacrifice for the cause. Vision and mission is really lacking.
You said once that forgiveness is a cure. Is forgiveness is the formula to make peace between Israel and Arabs?
Let go the past and find a new future. From independence to interdependence, that's what we need to understand. You know, independence was a slogan of the past era. Everyone wanted to be independent so that they could be prosperous. But today, prosperity doesn't come from independence. It comes from understanding the interdependence. And if this education is brought to people. And also, see, there is an identity crisis. The main thing is a person thinks I am a Muslim or I am a Christian or a Hindu, Buddhist. Those who are not this, they no longer belong to me. They look like an enemy. They need to shift this to first and foremost identity, we are all human beings. Then we belong when they are this gender, male or female. Then the third identity, we belong to this religion or that religion. Then this nation or that nation. If the priority of identity is in the right place, I think conflicts can be resolved very, very quickly.
How would you like to see the stereotype of the future leader?
I feel through education we can unite the hearts and minds of people. And this cannot be done from people who are in power. People who are in authority cannot unite the hearts and minds of people. It's the volunteers, voluntary organizations, social workers, reformers. They have to bring this change in people, of bringing the change of mindset, uniting them, bringing hearts and minds together.
Are you optimistic like Jimmy Wales?
I'm realistic.
And that means that you are pessimistic?
No, absolutely not. Optimism is just a hope, but when you see it is possible, it's practicable, then I say I'm realistic. It's going to happen. See, people cannot stand tension or stress for too long. Somewhere one has to give up. You can't hold your fist too long like that. Somewhere you have to relax. And when you relax, you see the whole sky is on your hand. That tendency is began in the world. If you see between France and Germany and in Western Europe, there was so many conflict in the previous era. But now the borders have gone, it's become one currency, which was unthinkable in the 19th century. So in the same way, I'm sure Middle East crisis could be solved through educating people in a multicultural, multi-religious, broader spectrum of knowledge.
You're always smiling and giving such a warm impression, or there are some other times?
This is my weakness. You are pointing out to my weakness. Sometimes you need to show anger, but I cannot do that. I try to do it, but then, I end up laughing. So it's been quite a disadvantageous thing for me. You can be taken for a ride on this.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Ravi Shankar.